The NBA released the first round of fan voting results for the 2014 All-Star Game on Thursday, and they're pretty comparable to last season. Here's a look at the East as of right now. You've got your three forwards, LeBron James, who is your leading vote getter, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, and then Wade and Kyrie Irving at the guard spots. In the West, it's your forwards, Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin, Dwight Howard, your big guy in the middle, and your guards, Kobe Bryant and Chris Paul. So all 10 of those projected starters were All-Stars last year. 8 of them were starters voted by you out there. But I want to know, who do you think's the biggest, either winner or loser from the first set of returns for this?
Kyrie Irving's the biggest winner because of where he plays. He plays in the Eastern Conference. Automatic ticket to the All-Star game, my friend. I mean, look at it. If he played in the West, he'd be going up against Russell Westbrook, James Harden, CP3, Kobe, Tony Parker, Damian Lillard, the Jeremy Lin vote
Steph
coming
Curry
from across the Pacific. Steph Curry as well. I didn't even have him in my notes, Skeets. That's how many Western Conference guards there are. In the East, he's going up against Dwayne Wade and that's it. I mean, Rajon Rondo's out.
Derrick Rose is still third in voting, right?
Yeah, and Derrick Rose is out, so he's not going to get as many votes. He's obviously dropped off. Beyond that, it's Darren Williams who's injured, has been injured as well.
It's really then like guys like Aaron Aflalo, who should make an All-Star game this year. But I'm just saying, no, he's not going to get a lot of votes. But DeMar DeRozan possibility too. I mean, guys putting up good numbers at the shooting guard spot. I'm with you. I mean, Kyrie's a winner in this because
He's
it's
a lock
by default.
Yeah, their team is 8 and 13. He's not playing that well. Not a great start to the season, but he's basically a lock to get on this team, even if he doesn't get voted in.
Trey, winners or losers from the first set of votes here?
A loser for me is Dirk Nowitzki, just because I can't believe he's only 10th in the Western Conference voting. It seems like people kind of have written off the Mavericks. You know, they won their title, and then after that, it's been kind of a couple of years of having mediocre teams who are only okay, and Dirk is the only guy who's there, and you just kind of forget about it. But they're a top 10 offensive team right now. They're top 10 in pace, and Dirk's averaging 21 a game. He's back to being as good as he's ever been, and they're a fun team to watch. So it's kind of weird to me that he doesn't have more votes.
That he's that low. What about you, Lee?
A bit like what Tass was saying about Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard in the West is 10th amongst guards, and I think Blazers fans, they often feel a bit slighted. They don't get the right enough recognition throughout the league, and they've got a case in this point. The Blazers have been awesome. He's been awesome. He's averaging 20 points a game. I guess you could maybe knock his field goal percentage a little bit. He's shooting less from 2-point range than he is at 3-point range. But some of the guards ahead of him, you know, Curry, Harden, Westbrook, Parker, Paul, those guys, they're all over 100,000. Damian Lillard's only got 55,000 votes.
Right.
And that is the big surprise for me. I mean, I'm not saying he's necessarily better than those guys, but I just think I thought he would have had more votes considering how well the Blazers are playing.
I'll also take a Blazer. It's pretty obvious. LaMarcus Aldridge. I mean, you talk about Dirk, he's low. LaMarcus Aldridge is 8th in the forward voting. And he's not even getting half the votes of guys like Dwight Howard, Kevin Love, and Blake Griffin. He's behind Anthony Davis and Pau Gasol there in the votes. I mean, this was my pick before he went out last night and threw up a 30-25 game. He just doesn't get the attention that he deserves, and you could make the case, and I think we started to there at the top of the show, is maybe he's the best forward in the game right now, at the power forward position at least. But let's hear what people think, winners and losers from the first set of returns of these votes. I know you guys have seen them. What do you think about Kobe Bryant? Only playing 2 games and
he gets the pass.
Yeah, I mean, it's the legendary vote there. Is that what it is?
It is, but I hope if he does get voted in, he maybe comes off the bench, because it shouldn't be a Lifetime Achievement Award. It should be a Best Players during the season award, and he obviously hasn't played until the last couple of games. So
Kobe's not coming up.
I know, but it's. I mean, look, you know, he is one of the most popular players, and that's what it's about, the starters. So he deserves that vote, but I mean, he certainly hasn't been one of the best players in the league. And you know, someone like Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, Tony Parker, Chris Paul, those are the guys who deserve to start in the game.
I want a little Monte Ellis love thrown in there as well, because the Mavs having a top 10 offense, big factor is Monte Ellis. And you know, a Lifetime Achievement Award with Kobe. Also, Monte Ellis not getting a lot of votes because of the reputation. And he's played fantastically well, and he's changing that reputation, although a lot of people aren't on that Mavericks bandwagon.
I don't really, to be completely honest, care too much about who gets the votes to start the game. I mean, it's a popular vote. It's who the fans want and who they love. I will get upset when guys, I mean, LaMarcus should be a lock this year, but he's been a fringe guy before, and tons of other guys. That's when you sort of get upset, like, whoa, this guy has made his case to make this, and that's up to the coaches.
Why did we just talk about it for 3 minutes?
We'll get to it. We'll get to those.